Okay, well, I certainly wasn't planning on calling you guys back uh, so soon. Two a day seems like overkill, but um, Josh Friedman has joined the conversation. I love Josh Friedman. And he had his story resonated with me, so I felt like I was going to go for it. By the way, I'm not sitting in my bathroom. My one concession to trying to remedy how bad I looked in my last little chat is sitting in my bathroom where I seem to get the most reflected light. Um, but I haven't got their hair or makeup or anything like that. Anyway, Josh, you and I have clearly have quite a lot of overlap. I didn't Google how old you are, but we're obviously, I think, men of a similar age and background. I grew up in New York, also Jewish. I went to yeshiva myself, so I didn't have to go to. I didn't go to, and I loved yeshiva, by the way. But I didn't go to Jew camp per se. I went to a sports camp, largely attended by Jews, but we did not have Holocaust reenactment. That is an unbelievable story. Um, and this is a fitting day to have shared it. I certainly do remember. I mentioned I was weaned on a hatred of the Yankees, and I always thought that was a Jewish thing. I only later in life discovered that there were many Jewish fans of the Yankees. I guess my dad is from Brooklyn, so he was, of course, he was an ardent Brooklyn Dodgers fan, attending many, many, many games at Ebbets Field. And I guess as a Brooklyn Dodgers fan, you hate the Yankees. In a more general way, I also don't understand how can anybody really root for the Yankees? It's so unchallenging to root for the Yankees. But that's maybe you can respond to that another time. But I remember the summer, 1979. I would have been 13, newly bar mitzvahed. I was at sleepaway camp, Camp Greylock, and I do remember hearing about Thurman Munson. And though I did not like the Yankees, Thurman Munson was one of those guys you kind of just had to love. Um, and I remember he died in a plane crash. And I also remember shockingly quickly there was a joke going around camp. Um, how do you fit 7 Yankees in a car? 2 in the front, 4 in the back, and Thurman Munson in the ashtray. Um, I remember being almost traumatized by that joke. If you watch my Twitter feed, I guess I make offensive jokes myself. But I remember at the time um, thinking, what an awful, awful uh, joke to make. And I remember really being angry kids were telling that joke. It stuck with me. Additionally, that summer, I believe, is the same summer that Skylab was. It was all over the news that Skylab was going to fall out of the sky, um, and no one knew where. And I kid you not, this is a really sad insight into me. I spent the summer worrying that Skylab was going to fall on my family. Um, there I was in Massachusetts, and I just kept waiting for a phone call telling me that Skylab had fallen on some member of my family or my whole family and killed them. And I had actual horrible, real anxiety, and I did a lot of staring up at the sky. I think ultimately Skylab fell into the Indian Ocean. Um, uh, I think if I had really broken down the numbers, there was really never any significant risk that it would hit my family. Um, but I guess that's not anxiety. As a poker player, I break down the numbers and I look at them. Probability and odds. As a worrier, which I still am, I don't really break down the numbers. In any event, I don't know if you say Happy Memorial Day, but a shout out to the men and women of the armed forces. Um, Thank you for what you do.